Welcome back, everyone. And I've been getting a lot of recommendations for different Reddit podcasts. This one's Storytime Society. What was her name? She had her name. Jamie Nielsen. So, as usual, I'll leave a link for. But this one's about I met his work wife and I'm devastated. I never understood that whole work wife, work husband crap. It's like, no, we are not in a relationship. Just get away from me. For those of you who have noticed, yes, I shaved my hair off. Just thought it was time. I hadn't done it in a year or more. And then, so I cut it all off. The beard, the hair, everything. My family wasn't too happy. They hate it. I was like, oh, well, it's in my head. Which my son will try to argue, well, you won't let me take care of my hair. Like, well, you don't take care of your hair, so the argument doesn't stand. If you took care of your hair, that'd be different. So I recently cut his hair too. Now I didn't cut him as short as mine. I just cut the top layer off, basically get the knots out. He won't brush or comb his hair. I got to pretty much hold him down and do it. But hopefully he grows out soon. But that whole work wife, work husband stuff is the dumbest thing, and I don't understand it. It's just so stupid. But let's see what's going on here, see why she was devastated. Maybe they were a little more friendly than they should have been. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. The theme of this episode is updates only. If you haven't already and you're on Spotify, please rate me.
I don't like her camera work just because it looks like she stared at me. I don't like being stared at.
The title of the first story is I, 23 female, met my boyfriend's 25 male work wife for the first time, and I'm devastated. So throwaway account because this is pretty personal drama and I don't want all of my friends knowing about this just yet. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now and he's been at his current job for a few years. We'll call him Jake. I've never met any of his coworkers until last night, but there's one in particular who we will call Amy. He sometimes does big favors for her, fixing her car, going to her house to fix stuff around her house, etc. And I was never really concerned because he told me all of his coworkers are a lot older than him. However, one night while he was asleep, his guy friend kept blowing up his phone, so I answered to let him know Jake was sleeping, and so was I, so please stop calling. Anyways, before I put the phone down, I noticed 5 unread text notifications from Amy. I guess some of the spam notifications were from her. One of them said, quote, "Great, Jake, now everyone thinks that we are effing," with a laughing crying emoji, unquote. This really concerned me, so the next day after Jake got home from work, I asked about it, and he said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that, and it was just a joke. I thought it was a weirdly unprofessional joke and expressed my discomfort. He invited me to the bar with him and his coworkers that night so that I could meet her and see there was nothing to worry about.
Already, I see where this is going. He told her, hey, all my coworkers are older. She shows up, and she's probably around the same age as them. It's like, she's not older. She's our age. And you're doing all this stuff, spending all this time with her? No. No, that doesn't work for me. As I said, I don't get that. I just feel like every time I hear about someone's work wife or work husband stuff, it's like, why? Why give them that classification? To me, husband and wife stuff is intimate. So how intimate are you getting with that work wife or work husband? It's like, and I think there are some places now that say, don't do that. Don't call someone your work husband or work wife. Just because of stuff like this. We'll see how bad it gets.
Not soothe my nerves at all. It turns out Amy is not a lot older than him. She's only 3 years older and super pretty. The entire night she was all over
3
him,
years.
touching him, leaning on him, putting her arms around him, and even kissed him on the cheek, and he acted like it was normal. They were constantly teasing each other in that, quote, middle schooler who doesn't know how to...
If she did that with a guy, he would lose his crap. If the roles were reversed, he'd be losing it. He's going to tell her, it's no big deal. 5 years and you don't know your girl first off. You don't think your girl would get jealous over that crap? If I saw some guy hanging over my wife, kissing on her, I'm going to jail. That's what's about to happen. So yeah, no, it's not cool.
Really flirt yet, unquote, kind of way. She told me all about how she loves him like a brother, and also told me that she's had sex with half of their other coworkers, and that she got the next morning off work because she sent a coworker nudes to get him to cover for her. Later on, she started crying and sobbing at the bar, actual tears, because she's so lonely and wants someone to love her.
No, I'm like, no, you can't hang out with her no more. Again, like, if a guy was doing that crap, I'm like, nah, you don't get to go near him at all. Because this dude there's something off about this dude. First off, yeah, if I was her, I'm like, no. Like, no. You don't get to be around her no more. And if he's not okay with that, your relationship's over. If he doesn't realize why you're not okay with it, he doesn't actually care about you. He doesn't care about your feelings. So, yeah, this is one of those, people say, oh, you shouldn't give ultimatums. No, this is a prime example of why you should give an ultimatum. You really should give an ultimatum on this one.
And my boyfriend ended up having to comfort her. I'm just unsure of what to do or say. My boyfriend kept acting like this was normal, that he wasn't doing anything wrong by entertaining this behavior. I can't ask him to cut her off. They're on the same unit and they have to work together. I literally do not know what to do about it.
He can cut her off. You can be professional about it. You know, I hate that argument. Oh, I can't ask him to cut her. Yeah, you can. You can ask. I don't know. Maybe I missed that. I don't know what he does for a living, but 9 times out of 10, you can probably transfer to another department, or just let him know, hey, I can't do all that stuff for you anymore. I got to think of my relationship. And if she gets upset, the coworker gets upset, then yeah, she definitely was seeing you more than just a brother. I guarantee you, she sees you as either a pawn or someone she can use. She does not see you as a brother. She sees you as someone she can manipulate and get stuff done for free. And this idiot is just going for it.
About this, but I'm just disgusted knowing that this has been going on all these years and he's worked with her. How can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time at work? Ew, he's literally like the worst person ever, and he should have already set those boundaries. I hate this so much that I always have to say, like, this is common sense knowledge.
There was a girl I worked with who I kind of get the sense she wanted to be a little closer, but I kept my distance. I talked to her like a coworker. You know, I was there. I work with her every day, and I never crossed that line. So I don't understand why this guy thinks it's okay to cross these lines. He didn't just cross the lines. He jumped over them, then burned it behind him. It was like, I'm jumping over this line, and I'm not going back. It's male or female. Every time I hear this, it's like, you really don't care about your partner. That never once crossed your mind. And if your partner brings it up, you're going to think they're overreacting. It's like, you don't actually care about your partner. You really don't. If you're unhappy in your relationship, because they've been together 5 years, and I kind of wonder about marriage. Why has that never been brought up? Have they ever talked about it? Do they have kids? Either way, this relationship is over. It's over. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care what you think.
You don't do that in a relationship.
Exactly.
So you having to sit him down like a little baby preschooler, talking to him like apples start with A and bananas start with a B. Like, that should not have to be a thing in your relationship. So I don't know, have a talk with him and just express your concerns, and also that you're very disappointed and you do not like the way that they were acting together, and that I would honestly, if it were me, I'd be like, I'm seriously reconsidering our relationship, because that disgusted me. And that's truly so awful to know that you're going over to her house to help her with house things or car things, and all this time you're probably, what? I don't know. You guys are so comfortable doing that in front of my eyes. So what are you comfortable doing behind my back? Someone said, your boyfriend cares for his work wife, I just hate that term, more than you. The way they acted, touched in front of you, and your boyfriend sees nothing wrong, I think you have underreacted. Ask the question, is he worth it? Exactly. OP said, I was just kind of in shock because they did it so blatantly and everyone else was acting like it was normal. She was also super touchy with me, and even...
I bet you everyone else think they're dating, not you two. I wonder how many of his coworkers think you two broke up if they know about you. I guarantee you a lot of them thought you guys broke up. and that they're dating. And if the coworkers knew that you two were still dating, yeah, that's not a good place. That means there's probably cheating going on left and right. They have coworkers who are willing to cover for each other like that. I'm glad I never. Well, actually, I kind of did work in a place like that. But yeah, no, don't do that. Just it's time to move on. It's time to move on.
On the cheek and hugged me a lot, and despite being our first time meeting. So I struggled with wondering if this is just how she is as a person. I know some people are just very touchy and physically affectionate, and I guess that just made me worried.
No, I hate that argument. They're just touchy. No, don't touch me. First off, if I don't know you, don't come up here being all touching on me. I'm going to pull away from you and be like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know you. If I don't know you, don't come up on me first time we meet and being all lovey-dovey and touchy. People who do that crap have no sense of boundaries. So, yeah, this girl, this work wife, I can see her going beyond, and trying to do more with him. Just because she has no sense of boundaries. She doesn't care. I mean, she's already talked. She told her, I've hooked up with the other guys in the office. She's purposely trying to get you to break up with him so she can sleep with him. She doesn't even want a relationship with him. She just wants to sleep with him. So, yeah. I say let him go. Let him go sleep with her. Be done with it. Move on. Unfortunately, that's 5 years down the drain. I kind of wonder also about that 5 years. You mean to tell me he's never done this before? In the 5 years you guys been together? Because a lot of times, guys who do this have a tendency to always do it. And I kind of wonder if he's done this before.
I was being paranoid. I don't want to seem like the crazy girlfriend. Oh, also, mind you, go off, send nudes all you want, but I don't think that you should be sending nudes to a coworker so that they'll cover for you. Or honestly, I don't think that you should be sending nudes to a coworker, period.
That's grounds for termination, actually. I forgot about that. If the company has an HR department and they found out about that, they could fire you. And they could fire the person who took the nudes, like who got the nudes. Because that's a big no-no. As far as I know, pretty much in any business. Unless the adult industry, the adult entertainment industry. Maybe that's where he works. But they said unit, so I'm thinking hospital. Usually it's hospitals, they say unit. But, yeah. No, that's a big no-no. Oh, my God, I just realized. If she's a nurse, that would explain so much. I don't know how many... People always talk about Grey's Anatomy is not realistic. But then I'll hear stories from nurses that say, oh, yeah, it's closer than people think. And I've heard stories of people who work in hospitals but aren't nurses, and they hear about it too. And when I worked at a credit union that worked out of a hospital, and I would hear stories. There was a story of one woman who pretty much took care of the entire janitorial staff. Yeah, she was with every single guy. And they just passed her around. I forget what their nickname was, but basically it's like it rhymed with her last name. It's like, Jesus. And there were stories of other people too. Just, yeah, it ran rampant. So yeah, so don't be surprised if you know someone who works as a nurse at a major hospital and you discover they've been cheating this whole time. Yeah, don't be surprised by it. But yeah, if they work at a hospital, that would explain so much. It really would.
I don't know. Is that crazy for me to say? Like, I probably wouldn't get involved in that way. But obviously you don't care because you screwed all of them. So, and like, I'm all for a woman doing what she wants. I am not going to shame a woman, but like, why are you sleeping with all your coworkers? There's a million, jillion, grillion people in the world that you can sleep with. Why do they have to be your coworkers? And
easy access. No, that's the real reason. Easy access. That's the main reason a lot of people do it. It's right there. Oh, man. I think she's done it at work with them. Like I said, those doctor shows weren't too far off, apparently.
That's very concerning to know that my boyfriend is one of your coworkers and that you probably are trying to sleep with him too, because it's like you're trying to collect Pokemon at this point. This person said, I'm sure this will be an unpopular opinion, but you wouldn't be the crazy girlfriend to confront him about it. You've been in the picture longer and you should come first. He may not even realize how bad it looks or how uneasy it...
Nah, he knows. I guarantee he knows. Or better yet, let's say he doesn't know. He doesn't care. He 100% doesn't care how it looks. Because he's getting her attention. He's getting attention of another woman. And your attention doesn't matter anymore.
Makes you. Before jumping to breaking up, you need to have a sit down with him and explain the inappropriate actions and how it made you feel. You need to set the boundary with him that being friends with Amy at work is okay to an extent, but you're not okay with how comfortable she was with him because being touchy and even kissing on the cheek is crazy. Opie said, thank you for the advice. I will definitely do that. And yes, your opinion may be unpopular, but I found it a lot more helpful than the people saying just to break up without communication at all. I find it difficult to end a long-term relationship without even discussing the problem first. I will try this, and if he isn't understanding and active in fixing it, then leaving will be the only option I have left. Thank you. 100%. I agree with you. You should definitely talk to him about it, because I'm assuming if she was that way with you, she's probably that way with everyone, and he probably just doesn't see that it's a problem because she's that way, and that's just like her personality. But she should also not be doing that. But
I hate when they give people excuses. I know I said earlier, example, let's say he doesn't know, but the reality is people know. They just don't care. Like, I have worked with people who touch feelings. Like, no, like someone went to give me a hug, I stuck my hand out for a handshake. Like, handshake, here you go. Yeah, no, don't touch me. I adopted that rule early on about don't touch me. And it's worked wonders for me. And it's actually gotten people to back off trying to be all friendly with me. It's like, if I want to be friendly with you, I'll be friendly with you. But we ain't got to touch each other to be friendly. Just back up. So, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Also, why is it always an Amy? I know that's a fake name, but why is it always Amy? This person said, bro, this is actually effing unreal. And OP said, yeah, I was literally in shock at the bar about how blatant it all was, and no one else reacted to it. They all acted like it was normal, so I was just sitting there in disbelief.
It's because she slept with all of them. She slept with all of them. She said that. She slept with all of them. That's why they weren't worried about it. They didn't care. They just figured it was his turn. I'm telling you, I'm on the impression that the coworkers may not even know you're still in the picture. That's how it feels. Like they don't know you're in the picture. So, but then again, like I said, they could be in on it, knowing that he's next, and it's just, hey, you're gonna have to either accept it or move on, type of deal. But yeah, he's next, and she's pretty much letting you know that. But yeah, if my son ever got into a situation like that and he's dating someone and the coworkers doing it, I was like, first off, I didn't raise a dumbass. I'd probably smack him upside the head. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's like, just dump the girlfriend and go sleep with her, because that's clearly what you want to do. But yeah, if he ever, like, oh, no, Dad, I don't. I said, then set boundaries, you moron. I really would smack him in the head if my son ever did something like that. It's like, no. And if my daughter did something like that, I'd do the same thing, smack her in the head. It's like, no, I raised you better than that. No.
The way that I would literally be fuming, you'd be able to see the smoke coming out of my ears. Like, I would probably turn into the devil himself. We're gonna read the update. It's about a month later. Before I give the update, I want to give some clarifications about frequently asked questions on the original post. One, my boyfriend told me that all his coworkers were a lot older than him, but that was when we were discussing other coworkers months prior, so I understand why he didn't happen to mention the one exception, Amy, since she wasn't on topic. He was just making a generalization. So, update time. I did end up talking to Jake. I struggled finding a good time to bring it up because we ended up being invited on a spontaneous trip with our friends shortly after I made my post, but I ended up talking to him when we had a moment alone at the hotel. I explained how those behaviors made me feel, and he told me he wanted to discuss this but wasn't sure how to bring it up either since we didn't talk about it when it happened. I was so emotionally defeated the night that we got home from the bar that I just went to sleep without a word. Anyways, Jake told me that he was also completely caught off guard by how Amy was acting at the bar.
Oh, okay.
He said that while she did make odd comments every now and then, she had never physically done anything until that night, and he let their other female coworkers know he was uncomfortable with how Amy acted at the bar. And she agreed, and said that she would not schedule him with Amy anymore since she manages the schedule.
Okay. I take it back. I like this update. He realized that was wrong. So, I'm not taking back what I said because everything is based on her point of view, what information we had. So based on that, yeah. But in the end, it turns out he's not an a-hole. He actually realized, hey, this is wrong. She's never done this before. And I love the fact he went basically to his boss. It's like, yo, hey, no, this is not okay. And she's like, yeah, I won't schedule with her no more. But I kind of wonder if he should file an HR report because this could still come back to haunt him in a bad way. Because I don't know what kind of person Amy is, but I think he should definitely go to HR. I mean, the boss knows, but still, if this is not normal behavior, then yeah, Amy was trying to mark her territory, 100%. That's what was going on.
I mentioned in my last post that Amy was constantly boasting about sleeping with a bunch of men and sending them pictures or whatever. I interpreted this as she's trying to tell him that she's down to do anything with anyone, including him. She's telling him that she's interested. She's telling him that she likes having sex. Jake, however, interpreted the flirty comments as her personality because she was that way with everyone, and interpreted the sleeps with a bunch of men boasting as, I'm not interested in you personally though, which is why he didn't find it odd. You know how when you start talking to someone of the opposite sex, they'll casually slip in a mention of their girlfriend/boyfriend as a way to let you know that they're already taken and are only interacting with you platonically? He thought it was like that, and that was why she kept mentioning whoever she was seeing at the time. During our conversation, Jake
Oh, I can see that. Like if I'm just talking to a girl and I'm not trying to do anything, but she constantly keeps bringing up other guys, I'm like, I've kind of just looked at him like, okay, like, I think if she constantly kept bringing up, finally, I'd probably be like, why do you keep bringing up the guys you're seeing with me? Like, I don't care who you're seeing. I actually don't. So, I can see that from his point of view. I can see that. Because, yeah, if we're just talking and you constantly keep bringing up the guys you're dating, one, if I'm not interested, well, let's say hypothetically I was interested, but you constantly kept doing that, I'm like, oh, cool. I'll back off. You know, if we're coworkers, I'll still talk to you, you know, but I'm not going to try to do anything for you. It's like, you know, there's no point in pursuing you. You clearly have, you know, other people that you're interested in. So that would be that. But then at the bar, if you did something like that out of the blue, kiss me on the cheek and stuff, I'm like, whoa, what the hell was that? Being me, I would have said something right then and there on the spot. But like, oh, whoa, what are you doing? Back off. Like, you have never done that before. Maybe you had too much to drink. It's time for you to go. So yeah, I would have been very vocal. So yeah.
He loves me and only wants me. He apologized for not resolving this sooner and that he just felt super awkward at the bar when he realized what she was doing and he didn't know how to react. He mentioned that he would never do anything with Amy or anyone like Amy and that he found her promiscuity and emotional instability to be unattractive. He believed that the reason she suddenly started being so handsy with him that night at the bar was because I was there, and that must have made her lash out, but he promised it had never happened before that. After this conversation and him showing me texts from his coworkers stating that he won't be scheduled with Amy anymore, I felt a lot better. Until Jake told me he wanted to talk one day. He said that even though he wasn't scheduled on the same shifts as Amy anymore, she started switching shifts with people to work with him. Oh. Because of that, he started applying to jobs and later on let me know that he got accepted to be a field technician at Redacted for Privacy. He put his 2 weeks in at his current job and now he only has 1 week left until he starts. It's a field that he's more interested in, has better pay, and obviously Amy won't be there. Overall, I'm currently happy and feel a lot better that he cut her out, and soon that entire work environment. We've been talking about a lot of things since then. Better communication, how we can enforce boundaries even when it's awkward. I know this update is going to make a lot of people displeased. Most responses wanted me to end our relationship, but I'm happy where things are going currently. Thank you again to everyone who responded except the few who kept accusing me of being AI. LOL. Also, sorry for the bad formatting. I typed this on my phone.
Before I hear her comments, I was for breaking up just based on what she told us. And she made it seem like it was going on for a long time. But now I do believe in communication. And 5 years is a long time. So I'm glad they worked it out, actually. I'm glad she didn't just immediately break up. Because we can't jump the gun. And as a result, once we get the whole story, then it's like, Because I've seen those Reddit stories where the person broke up and then they got the whole story. It's like, oh my God, I made a mistake. And the other person's like, yeah, you wouldn't listen to me. So no, I'm good. I don't want you back. Because it's like, if you did it on this, you'll do it again on something else. You'll just dump me without getting my side of the story. So no. But yeah, at least they talked it out. At least he admitted he was uncomfortable with it. He took care of it. And then he found out she was switching shifts to still work with him. Yeah, I'd be getting the hell out of there too. It's like, nope, time to go. And I'm glad he moved on. I'm glad he talked to her. And again, I've said this before, communication is key in a relationship. Good communication is so important in a relationship. And I'm glad they're working on that. Because just think if she had decided not to talk to him, let's say she stayed with him but didn't talk to him, she'd be fuming every time a woman came near him or something like that. It'd just be bad, so it's a good thing they talked. But I'm glad it worked out. So let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, all that's good. I'm really confused about the... Never mind. I'm not. I thought that he told her like really late that he was going to get a new job or whatever and only had like a week left, but I think I just misinterpreted that. Yeah, honestly, communication is just such a big thing in relationships, and you really realize that. And I find it so hard sometimes. I'm really not a big communicator, to be honest with you. Like when I'm mad, I usually just like to avoid it until I'm not mad anymore, which I know is really unhealthy. But even with my friends, like I just find it so awkward to have a conversation like that. But the thing about that is if my boyfriend didn't bring that up after it happened, like that night, knowing that I was silent the rest of the night and then went to bed without saying a word, that's a little crazy to me. I would be even more mad at my boyfriend for not bringing it up.
Well, it sounds like he didn't know how to bring it up because it caught him off guard. Like he was just like, what the hell was that? And he probably recognized that she was mad and was like, I need to wait till she's calm. Then they went on that trip, and then she brought it up. So, and it sounds like they were both bad at communicating. And the fact that they're working on it is a huge step in the right direction.
This conversation up, you should have just said something, like he should have just said something to her that night and been like, hey, I don't know why that was happening. Like how awkward could that really be? I guess if they're both like avoidant about things and they both just never want to talk about things, then that's how it would be. But I feel like I'm like kind of avoidant with stuff like that, but if that happened and some guy was like all over me touchy-feely, well, first of all, I would be like, can you chill? I'd be like, no, I actually didn't consent to this, so can you please get off of me? And I would just be like, no, no, no. And I'd be pissed at that.
It sounds like they both like to avoid conflict, which is bad in a relationship. If both parties try to avoid conflict, that is really bad. I don't know too many relationships like that where they last. Because you both try to avoid conflict and then you both end up getting mad at each other.
For doing that. And then, second of all, I would have talked to my boyfriend that night. I would have been like, whoa, that was crazy. I don't know why he was acting like that. He's never acted like that before, but now I don't ever even want to speak to him again, and that was crazy. And I just feel like, I don't even think that's really like confronting or even like, I don't know. I feel like I would just be talking shit about him, so that would just be normal for me to say. Okay, this person is a downvoted comment. It says, I'm struggling to see this as positively as the other comments. The absence of Amy isn't the absence of opportunity. He didn't shut her down or defend you that night at the bar and didn't talk to you about this afterwards, and you believe his claim that she only acted that way that night, and you believe.
I do believe him mainly because I know guys like this to where they just shut down and they don't know what to do. And like I stated, she also had the opportunity to say something and chose not to. That's why I get the feeling that they both avoid conflict. They don't know how to handle it. But lucky enough, the girlfriend recognized she needed to step up because he wasn't going to bring it up. But then he tried to bring it up, but he didn't know how to bring it up. But I get the sense they both try to avoid conflicts and they both recognize they need to work on their communication. So I see why this was downvoted.
That no one usually behaves like that unless there has been a prior buildup in consent. I think the alcohol dropped her in.
I don't know about that. I have seen people just go for it with people, and it's like, what are you doing? I don't get it. Like, I've seen guys do it, I've seen girls do it, just approach someone and start hanging on them. And it's like, no, don't do that.
Inhibitions of what's been going on at work in subtly. Sounds like your partner was doing damage control because you were there. OP said, I understand your concern. You know, before we were dating, when we kissed for the first time, he said that he was relieved because he wasn't sure if I liked him romantically too, or if I just viewed him as a close friend. And I was like, dude, I've been sleeping in your bed the last 3 nights. We play wrestle. I baked you. Play wrestle? It's crazy. I baked you homemade cornbread because you said it was one of your favorite foods. I hug and touch you all the time.
He's bad at reading women. Welcome to the club. He's bad at reading women. That's probably also why he got caught off guard. He's probably one of those guys you gotta bluntly tell him, hey, I want to sleep with you. If you don't, he doesn't get it. So, yeah.
Could I have been without coming right out and saying it? LOL. I do genuinely believe that he interpreted things exactly how he said he did, and that he didn't realize she was flirting until the night at the bar. He's clueless sometimes, and I can forgive Clueless. We all have character flaws, and Clueless is far from the worst character flaw to have. I do thank you for your concern, though. I know you're just giving honest advice, so I don't end up let down. I agree with both of these people, honestly. I agree with this downvoted comment, because, like, that's honestly true, but I also agree with OP, whereas, like, guys can be so clueless, and it's like, wait, how did you not see that? But at the same time,
a lot of the hints women give are not obvious. I know people think, oh, it's so obvious, she's playing with her hair. So I know lots of girls who play with their hair, and it don't mean nothing. I know lots of girls that do other things that doesn't mean anything, doesn't mean they're interested in you. So that's one of the reasons that guys do get confused on, like, what the hell is going on. Like, do you like me or not? You know, so I can see that. And then that downvoted one, yeah, I'm just going to say she's probably single. Because if you talk to enough guys, you'll understand that most guys have no clue if a girl likes them. They're just guessing. It's 100% crapshoot. We're just guessing. We don't know until you say, oh, I don't like you like that. Seriously, we don't. Most guys don't. I'm one of them. I've gotten better at it, but now, actually, I'm not good at it at all now because I don't need to be. I'm married. But yeah, I completely believe him. I've been that guy, and I've known plenty of girls who've been like that. It's like, it doesn't mean what you think. In the whole play wrestle, if he saw you as a friend, how do you know he doesn't play wrestle with his guy friends? Like, guys wrestle around sometimes, you know, just play fight. He probably thought it was just something like that, play fighting with you. Well, it depends on, were you grabbing his crotch? But then again, maybe the guys do that to throw him off, you know, you don't know. So it all depends on the scenario, on the situation. So yeah, I could see it. I really could. And as for the baking form, that doesn't necessarily mean anything either. Because let's say you and your guy friends are hanging out and you mention something that you like, and one of your guy friends sees it and goes, oh, Jake said he likes that. Oh, yeah. His birthday's coming up. Let's get it for him. Boom. There you go. So, yeah, it's not as simple as people think when it comes to recognizing if someone likes them, especially if a guy's trying to recognize if a girl likes him. It's a lot more difficult than you think. Because all these little clues you think you're giving him, you're not. And that's why I hate that. I've hated that my whole life. Like, just tell me if you like me or not. Cut the crap. That's how I see it. It's crap. Just use your words. Oh, and that also reminds me of the videos I watch women trying to get a guy's attention. Like, and it was real. These women were just playing with their hair. They never once approached the guy. They said, oh, I flirted with him. It's like, you didn't go near the guy. You didn't talk to him. You didn't say anything to him. But I was there. He knew I was there. It's like, did he? He was reading something on his phone. The guy didn't even acknowledge you. He just got up and left. It's like, Jesus. So yeah, there are some girls that are really bad at flirting like that. All right, let's hear what the rest she had to say.
They're not stupid. Like, sometimes they can be clueless, but they're not stupid. And I feel like he saw that you were upset and didn't say anything, which is annoying. But obviously it's all resolved, and that's great, and that's fine, and I'm not trying to make him in trouble anymore. The top comment says, best outcome was him leaving the job because what the actual F is that workplace. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because imagine like people just going and being like, hey, so Amy's sleeping with all of the men at the company and sending everyone nudes. That's actually insane. Okay, the title of the next story.
Okay, so that's that. Yeah, it's that's what I thought. Where did he work? Unit and stuff. They used to unit. Could have been military. Who knows? Maybe he was a civilian contractor. But yeah, it's the best outcome. They talked. They both realized they need to work on the communication because it could have been resolved that night. He could have told her, "Hey, first off, that don't usually happen. I don't know what time she was on. Because if that happened to me, first off, I would have nipped that in the bud right then and there. Secondly, I would have told my wife, it's time for us to bounce. Time for me to look for a new job. I would have told my boss, yeah, this is not okay. And then I would have went to HR, but filed a report. And then I would have just took note of, probably before I left, I would have took note of everyone that was at the party. So I know who to say. All these people at the party, they saw it. And then just go from there. It's like, no, it was not okay. But yeah, like I stated earlier, guys don't always know. There were times later, I brought this up in other videos, where later in life girls would tell me, oh yeah, I had a crush on you. It's like, how is that supposed to know that? It's like, you never said anything. You never gave me, and if you gave me clues you had a crush on me, what were the clues? What were the clues? Did you say hi, Felix? That's not a clue. Lots of people say hi, Felix. That doesn't mean anything. But that's not a joke. There are a lot of people, a lot of women who think that's a clue. It's like, that's not a clue. You talk to me, it's not a clue you like me. Especially for colleagues. If we're work colleagues, I'm not thinking you like me. I'm thinking we're work colleagues and we got to communicate. It's that simple. But anyways, don't do the work wife or work husband thing. Just don't do that. And remember, your colleagues are not your friends. They're really not. They're your work colleagues. And remember that. Because don't trust them with information. Don't tell them stuff. Don't give them anything to use against you. Because you never know which one of them will betray you in a heartbeat. And they will, trust me. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.